Alex Garland is a man I have followed and cherished before even really knowing his name. Having written 2 films that sort of defined my love of sci-fi and horror in my teen years, as I got older, I would feverishly anticipate every new movie that either of them were involved with. With Danny Boyle's eclectic range of stories that he wanted to tell, I've been on board front row center every time. And when Alex Garland finally started directing, especially when Ex Machina first came out, I got to have that proud look on my face when someone would express their surprise with how good it was, and be able to be all hipster about it and ask them if they've seen or if they knew about all his writing credits. But I think I just love recommending Dredd to people. That's on me. And also, you guys should watch Dredd. But there's levels to this, because there are probably even bigger fans than me out there that have read like The Beach or The Tesseract, and I won't go that far, but I'm just trying to say, Alex Garland is one hell of a writer. He's also a fantastic director, as we saw with Ex Machina and my personal favorite, Annihilation. God, Annihilation's so f***ing good. Oh yeah, that was so good, I still don't get it. Now, my memory up till that point, people for real were loving Alex Garland, and he was on the cusp of being an event-level filmmaker. Now, I'm not gonna blame the pandemic entirely here, I can't, but Min was, at best, a suffocatingly tense slow burn with a pretty jaw-dropping third-act climax if you were locked in. And at worst, it's a total slog, and thematically is either hard to pin down or too on the nose. I give Garland a lot of credit, so my biases are out there. Some people hate Min, and I don't think I hate it at all, but it was clearly, by a mile, the worst of the 3 films he'd done. One of my most anticipated films last year was Civil War, because Garland is so good at layering in different genres into very human stories, and people liked Civil War more than Min, but the shine on Alex Garland's name was becoming a bit dulled. And I love Civil War a lot, actually. I've rewatched it twice since theaters, that's thrice in total, and I think it's incredibly watchable and is just the kind of movie I like. History will be kind to Civil War, I do believe that. The best part of Civil War, though, was the actual war scenes. The sound design, the lack of score or specific needle drops, the tight and chaotic camera work. It's super effective, and I'm always anticipating those scenes every time I rewatch it. I wouldn't say war movies are my favorite genre either, I should make that clear. I like them as much as every other genre of movie, but I don't have any bias toward them really. If it's good, it's good. Band of Brothers, goated. Saving Private Ryan, goated. Thin Red Line, goated. Wind Talkers, Tropic Thunder, The Winter Soldier, you get it, I get it. Let me put it this way, because I think this is what I'm trying to say. Civil War showed a new side of Garland, and I really like that side. This is awfully specific, but when his attention is driven toward gun battles and warlike set pieces, he kinda knocked it out of the park for me. But I think that's because Garland has never in his career once been that interested in the military. I've seen the third act of 28 Days Later. Garland just has never seemed concerned with the bravery or hoorah heroism of typical war movies. And some people were pretty unhappy with a lot of the war aspects of Civil War. The Texas-California alliance would never even happen, blah blah. I was like, yeah, no shit. That's Garland saying this movie isn't gonna be some political thriller strategic chess game. People walked in not really expecting a fairly poignant and effective exploration on journalism, specifically war journalism. So anyway, the last thing I was expecting from Garland following Civil War was another war movie. Not only that, but a real war this time, our war, and he's co-directing with one of the soldiers involved in the incredibly horrific experience this movie is solely focused on. I was hoping for more of this kind of thing from Garland next. But like I said, the scenes in Civil War that were the most thrilling and most exceptionally crafted were going to be the entire purpose of this next movie. It's like Garland knew he had kind of crushed that stuff and wanted to do more of it. That's a total guess on my part. So here it is. Warfare. Garland's first legit, true story war film. And I gotta say, while the story he and Mendoza are telling is truly horrifying and intense and shocking, I still don't think Garland is that interested in the hoorah, brotherhood, sentimentality part of the war movie. So that made for an experience with not really an ounce of full-bodied Hollywood war movie stuff in it. It opens with one shot of them all bonding, and opening I think is pretty incredible at capturing these men and what they're like in a single snapshot, and the next scene is the rest of the movie. We don't know why they're there exactly, or what the stakes are, what the context is. We get hints here and there to piece it together, but again, Garland and Mendoza are crafting, as it says in the opening, something based off of their memories. The best part is that that is what it feels like. It's hard to explain. The claustrophobic chaos in this tiny apartment with these various stimuli just really made the movie pop. The sound design in this is above and beyond in a lot of ways. Not just the gunshots, but plastic water bottles being crinkled, static on a walkie, sunlight flickering through the curtains, dust covering the groove of a shower door. Garland shoots a lot of this stuff very intentionally. So I don't think it's a gimmick to say memories, but it's a hook at the start that really did immerse me into this terrible nightmare. And I don't know Garland, obviously, so I'm just thinking this way based off of his filmography and decades of his work. What he seems most interested in is usually a little more specific and cerebral, especially in his sci-fi stuff that Civil War felt at least adjacent to. He doesn't seem concerned with the American Sniper or the Saving Private Ryan. He's more concerned with that entire middle section of Black Hawk Down, which is great. Tons of upcoming actors are in this, like Joseph Quinn, Gandolfini, Will Poulter, been around, but he's here, Kit Connor, Noah Centineo. I still can't believe he was in this. I still don't remember him being in this. Charles Melton. It's a great cast overall in this. The gore and the gnarly stuff is just point blank in your face the whole time because there's no leaving this one set piece. It's one giant war set piece for 90 minutes. Ray Mendoza wanted to reenact this experience and show what his team went through, and in interviews I've read that Mendoza wrote this and Garland didn't want to change anything to make it more palatable to general audiences. He made it translate to a feature film and shape the actual screenplay, which is where the dual writing credit comes in, but I love this team up between them. It feels like lightning in a bottle in a way. I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but I'm kind of glad that it did. Because of the co-directedness of it all, Warfare sort of feels like a B-side to Civil War. It's great on its own, don't get me wrong, and I don't want to take any credit away from Mendoza or the rest of the team that made this film, but watching these back-to-back in a double feature with Warfare as sort of an addendum to Civil War is already something I'm excited to do in the future. Fake war and then real war. I don't know, it's cool he did this. It's cool he made 2 movies like this. Garland making war movies but only for A24 also seems like a great decision, but I truly hope, and I do believe, that's the last Garland war movie for a while. And I also hope he returns to more hard sci-fi, but hey, that's just me. And on the writing side, I mean, don't even get me started on 28 Years Later coming out soon. I've never been more excited for a movie in my life. So yeah, shout out to Alex Garland, shout out Ray Mendoza, shout out Danny Boyle, why not? Shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you want, of course. Later.